sharing your insight throughout our news. Now we move on. The United States has that it expects to finalize trade deals with Southeast Asian nations in the coming months. Speaking at a meeting with ASEAN economic ministers in Kuala Lumpur, U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer has said that talks with several countries are progressing well, with some agreements potentially just weeks away. The region has been hit hard by new American tariffs, with rates as high as 40% in Laos and Myanmar, while Vietnam risks losing of up to $25 billion a year under a 20% levy, according to the United Nations Development Program. Indonesia and Vietnam have already negotiated new deals lowering some tariffs, but concerns remain over U.S. plans to impose 100% tariffs on semiconductors. Let's listen into what Greer has said.
ASEAN is an important and consequential partner for the United States. Our combined population is over 1 billion. And as you mentioned, the total trade in goods and services is nearly $500 billion. And actually, if you look at our numbers, I think it's higher than $500 billion. You mentioned there's a 16% increase in ASEAN's exports to the United States. We, of course, welcome trade. We hope, however, that it is balanced and reciprocal. We believe that there are many areas where our interests align, and we can work together to achieve shared goals of bringing reciprocity and balance to the global trading system. We also recognize ASEAN's affirmative statement in April to approach the U.S. initiative from a framework of understanding and discussion, and that has been borne out over the past few months.
Now, the United States says it expects to finalize trade deals with South Asian nations in the coming months, speaking at a meeting with ASEAN economic ministers in Kuala Lumpur. Now, for this discussion, we're joined by Frank Han. He's an anchor at Thai PBS, joins us live from Bangkok. Thank you very much, Frank, for joining us again. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, how might this expected trade deals between the U.S. and Southeast Asian nations impact the region's economies, especially considering the ongoing tariff challenges on them? Frank, could you hear me?
Hello, can you repeat your question again?
Yeah. How might this expected trade deals between the United States and Southeast Asian nations impact the region's economy, especially considering the ongoing tariff challenges on them?
Right, I think right now you are talking about trade tariff and the tariff negotiation between U.S. and ASEAN. But I would imagine this is a very good deal for both bloc to see if there's any challenges in between, and of course the opportunities that both blocs can see. But we still see the tariff in between could be a good sign to really push for the deal in between. So that could be a very good opportunity.
And what are the potential implications of U.S. imposing 100% tariff on semiconductors for both Southeast Asian countries and global supply chains if this trade deal doesn't work out for them?
Right, if you talk about, of course, the semiconductor ban there from the United States, as in, of course, I would talk about the Southeast Asia sense here, because Malaysia, of course, they put a lot of endeavor to really push for semiconductor development in the country. They have put the efforts for 20 years, but we can also see where I am right now, Thailand. Of course, they really want to get the supply chains moving to Thailand, as in, of course, we see the tariff and trade tensions here between United States and all the blocs, including ASEAN too. So Thailand could be one of the best location to put the supply chains in Thailand for the semiconductor part. But right now, people still talking about what about the talents, skilled talents on the ground. Is that enough from Thailand? And people look at Malaysia for the best location for now, in Vietnam too. So actually you can see right now the supply chain moving around in the globe. Now, of course, we have to look at no matter NVIDIA, TSMC, of course, they still put their investment mostly in the United States. So this is the picture right now for semiconductor ban.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Frank for joining us and sharing that insight. All the way